If you're planning to renovate, build, or buy a luxury home in the next few years, stop before you approve that marble slab or sign off on that kitchen design. Some of the features flooding high-end listings right now are not just dated. They are actively stealing resale value and making million-dollar properties sit on the market for months. Oversized kitchens with multiple islands are seeing 30% longer sale times. All marble bathrooms, once the gold standard of luxury, are now being flagged by buyers as cold and impersonal. Those designer logo throws draped over sofas are being called nouveau riche red flags by high-end buyers. So why are these trends going from must-have to can't sell? And what do truly sophisticated homes have that these expensive mistakes do not? I've spent years walking through some of the most exclusive properties on the market, and today I'm going to share what actually separates timeless elegance from costly trends that will age your home overnight. I've had the privilege of stepping inside some of the most exclusive properties in the country. Homes in California where the Pacific light floods through floor-to-ceiling windows. Mansions in Florida where builders seem to compete for the most dramatic entryway. Estates in Texas where space appears to have no limits. And something I've learned over all these years is this: the price tag on a house and its actual value are two completely different things. I've seen $20 million properties that feel cold, empty, almost desperate to impress. Houses where every single element screams, "Look how much money I have," but nothing whispers someone with taste lives here. And on the other hand, I've walked through homes at a fraction of that price that have something money simply cannot buy: soul, character. That unmistakable sense that someone thoughtfully considered every detail, not to impress strangers, but to create a genuine home. Today, I want to share with you the trends that, from my professional experience, are turning luxury mansions into textbook examples of what not to do. And more importantly, we're going to talk about why the market of truly sophisticated buyers is rejecting these expensive mistakes. Because at the end of the day, real luxury is timeless, and what we're seeing in many of these homes definitely is not. Let us start with the heart of the home, the kitchen, and specifically these monumental kitchens with 2, 3, even 4 islands that look more like convention centers than places to prepare dinner. A few years ago, I made a video about double kitchen islands, and apparently I struck a nerve. Many people shared the same frustration but did not have an outlet to express it. So today I am going to take it a step further. When I show a property, the kitchen is always a conversation point, but not in the way these homeowners expect. Smart buyers walk in, see these restaurant-sized kitchens, and the first question is always the same: who actually uses all of this? And the answer, in my experience, is almost always no one. This is not a restaurant kitchen. This is not a hotel kitchen. You are not preparing food for 200 guests. You are making breakfast for your family. And for that, trust me, you do not need to run laps around 3 islands like you are training for a marathon. I have stood in these gigantic kitchens where you can clearly tell nobody cooks there. Everything is pristine, not because they are exceptionally clean, but because literally no one uses anything. The refrigerator has more empty space than food. The surfaces do not have a single mark of use. The most elegant spaces I know have proportionate kitchens, one well-designed island, just one, with enough space to prep, to converse, to actually live. Quality appliances, not quantity. And that balance only comes when someone actually thought about how a space is lived in, not just how it looks in photographs. Because a kitchen is not an appliance showroom. It is where you prepare Sunday dinner while your children do homework on the island. It is where you sip your morning coffee looking out at the garden. It is life. And life does not need 3 islands. And since we're in the kitchen, let's talk about what's inside it, or rather, everything that shouldn't be. I've seen kitchens with 3 ovens. 3. How many turkeys are you cooking at the same time? Are you feeding an army? And I'm not talking about regular ovens. I'm talking about the convection oven, the steam oven, the speed oven. Ovens that honestly, I don't know what they're for, and I'm fairly certain their owners don't either. I've seen industrial ice machines that could supply an entire bar. I've seen refrigerators the size of a walk-in closet. I've seen range hoods so enormous they look like spaceships landing in the kitchen. And here's what truly baffles me. Many of these homeowners don't cook. They order delivery 4 times a week. They have catering for every event. The most used appliance in the house is probably the microwave. There's something important I want you to understand. Sophisticated buyers notice this. When they see a kitchen with 15 different appliances, they don't think how impressive. They think what a waste. They think someone here spent money without thinking. Quality always beats quantity. 1 excellent refrigerator, 1 top-tier oven, 1 professional cooktop. That's enough. That's elegant. Everything else is noise. Now let's talk about something I see throughout entire homes. Glossy lacquered surfaces, piano black, brilliant white, that mirror-like finish. This had its moment in the 80s and the 90s, but we are in 2025 and it should have stayed in the past. When I walk into a $12 million property and see furniture with this finish, I wonder, did no one tell them? Because this, with all due respect, looks cheap. There is a reason budget furniture stores use this finish. It is inexpensive to produce and it catches the eye. But it also looks exactly like that, cheap and flashy. Truly luxurious materials have character. American walnut with natural grains, European oak with that patina only time can give, marble with a satin finish that whispers elegance instead of shouting. Excessive shine is like speaking too loudly at an elegant dinner party. Everyone hears you, but not for the right reasons. Before we continue, I want to take a brief pause. If this type of content is useful to you, if you enjoy understanding what gives a home true value and style, I would love for you to subscribe to the channel. Here we talk about design with substance, about smart investments in your home, about how to recognize the difference between what looks luxurious and what actually is. And trust me, there is a huge difference between the two. Now, let's continue with our list. When people design mega mansions, the conversation often goes, I want to maximize the view. And the solution always ends up being glass everywhere. Glass railings, glass walls, everything transparent. If you have a view of the Pacific Ocean, I get it. You want to enjoy it. But putting glass in absolutely everything is not the elegant answer. It is the easy answer. It is the answer of someone who did not want to think too hard. These glass railings are boring. No personality, no architectural presence. They are the equivalent of not making any decision. Truly memorable homes have details, wrought iron railings with artisan designs, or wood worked into shapes that complement the architecture. Your view is beautiful, but if your house is generic, what are you showing? An expensive window with a forgettable house around it? Marble. Let me talk about marble for a moment because it's a material I'm passionate about when used correctly and deeply frustrated by when it's abused. Marble is noble. It's historic. It has decorated palaces and cathedrals for centuries. It's truly beautiful when you find the right piece and place it in the right location. But on the exterior of a home, no. Simply no. I've seen facades that look like, how to put this elegantly, a mosaic of decisions that no one coordinated. Natural stone here, exotic wood there, marble everywhere, metal as an accent, polished concrete in another section. And in the end, you have something that looks like a material sample catalog instead of a coherent residence. It's like if the architect or homeowner walked into a material showroom and said, why choose one when I can have them all? And the answer is because restraint matters. The most elegant homes I've had the privilege of selling, the ones sophisticated buyers genuinely desire, have restraint. They have discipline. 2 main materials, 3 at most. A coherent palette that tells a story, a unified vision from beginning to end. And marble specifically on exteriors has an additional problem I must mention. Many times it isn't even real marble. It's porcelain tile with a marble look finish. And trust me, experienced buyers notice immediately. They can see the difference between natural stone and an imitation. At best, it looks excessive. At worst, it looks fake and pretentious. Neither of those perceptions is what you want for a property that costs millions. Trend 6. LED mirror lighting. Now let's step into the bathroom, because there are several things we need to discuss there. And let's start with something I constantly see in bathrooms of multi-million-dollar homes: mirrors with integrated LED lighting. You know the ones, the light coming from behind creating that halo, or the light bars on the sides, or sometimes both. Look, I completely understand the intention. Bathroom lighting is important. It is functional. You need good light to get ready in the morning, to apply makeup, to shave. That makes all the sense in the world. But when you have a budget that literally allows any lighting solution on the planet, this is your choice? Think about it for a moment. There are wall sconces from renowned designers that are true works of art. Fixtures from historic brands that have lit the most elegant bathrooms in the world for decades. Lighting solutions that can transform an ordinary bathroom into a 5-star private spa. The options are literally endless when budget is not a limitation. And yet, I see these mirrors you could find in any chain hotel, in any Marriott or Hilton in the country, installed in bathrooms of $15 million mansions. It is like serving the world's finest champagne in plastic cups. Technically, it serves the function, and technically you have lighting. But it is not the same. It does not convey the same thing. It does not create the same experience. And in true luxury, the experience is everything. You know, one of the things I enjoy most about making these videos is receiving comments from people who tell me they always felt something was wrong with these trends, but did not know how to explain it. That confirms there are many people out there with natural good taste, with correct instincts, who simply need someone to put into words what they already intuit. If you feel identified with this, I would really appreciate it if you shared this video. It helps more people with good judgment find this content. And of course, if you are not subscribed yet, this is an excellent time to do so. Now, let's continue with the final 2 points, which honestly are the ones I am most passionate about. Trend 7. Material-drenched bathrooms. Staying in the bathroom. The phenomenon I call the marble sarcophagus, also known as Russian oligarch chic. Neither is a compliment. Bathrooms where every surface is covered in the same dramatic marble. Floor, walls, ceiling, bathtub, shower. Everything identical. I'm going to say something controversial. This design is lazy. If you are paying a designer hundreds of thousands of dollars and their solution is to cover everything with the same material, you are not getting your money's worth. Extraordinary bathrooms have a dialogue between materials. Dramatic marble on an accent wall, yes, but balanced with warm woods, handcrafted tiles, mosaics with history. Coco Chanel had a rule. Before leaving the house, look in the mirror and remove one thing. There is always something extra. These bathrooms need that editing. Visual saturation is not luxury, it is noise. Now, the point I find most difficult to understand is luxury brand logos used as decoration. A Hermes blanket placed so the logo is visible, Versace home accessories, Prada pillows with enormous letters, Gucci towels, all of it turns your home into a billboard for brands you can afford. I'll be direct. This does not impress anyone who understands design. Among truly sophisticated buyers, people with generational wealth, it is perceived as insecurity. It reads as someone who needs others to validate their success, who needs visitors to see logos and think, wow, they can afford Hermes. The most elegant homes I have known do not have a single visible logo. Instead, they have pieces from local artisans with personal stories, inherited furniture with patina from decades of use, and art chosen for emotional connection rather than for the artist's name. There is a phrase I never forgot. Money talks, wealth whispers, logos shout. They say, look what I can buy. There is something desperate about that. When your home communicates success through quality, proportions, and thoughtful design, you do not need labels. The house speaks for itself. That is what separates having money from having taste. They do not always go together. After all these years, I've reached some conclusions I want to share. True luxury is not measured in square footage. It is not measured in zeros on the price tag. It is not measured in designer logos or appliance counts. True luxury is walking into a space and feeling someone thought about every detail, that every choice was intentional, that the house was designed to be lived in, not photographed for Instagram. Trends come and go. What was modern 10 years ago looks dated today. What seems impressive now will look outdated in a decade, but some things never go out of style. Quality, proportion, harmony, intention. A well-proportioned room will feel right 100 years from now. Quality materials age gracefully, telling stories. Intentional design never stops working. And here is the most important conclusion. You do not need an unlimited budget to have good taste. I have seen modest homes decorated with such care that they impressed me more than $20 million mansions. Small rooms that feel like perfect refuges. Humble kitchens where people cook with joy. What you need is not limitless money. What you need is intention. Patience to find the right pieces, not the most expensive. Courage to choose less, but better. So the next time you see a mega mansion with all these trends, enormous kitchens, logos everywhere, marble-saturated bathrooms, look at it with new eyes. Not with envy for what it cost, but with the knowledge that you understand something those homeowners never learned. That true elegance never shouts. It whispers. That real luxury is not in the things, it is in the decisions. And that a home with soul will always be worth more than a home with logos. Thank you for joining me today. If this video was useful, I would appreciate it if you subscribed and shared it with someone who would enjoy it. And if you recognize these trends in your own home, do not worry. We are all learning. What matters is not where you are now, but where you are going. See you in the next video.